In a secret control room 100 feet below the Lincoln Memorial, Ben Hamamoto hunches over his desk, staring at a computer screen.
Ben, it's late. Let's go home.
I need to respond to this order from the Secret Service. But first, I have to figure out how to work with the new AI interface for our supercomputer. This instruction manual is just a bunch of incomprehensible icons.
I thought it was supposed to be simple. The promise of AI is it'll be just like carrying on a conversation.
Well, I'm going to try it. I've launched the interface. Wow, what a strange avatar.
Hello, I'm Medea, the chatbot that unlocks the power of your supercomputer through simple English language commands. Let's get started. How can I help you? You can say things like, how do I topple an antagonistic regime? Or invent some salacious misinformation to spread about a political opponent.
Medea, the Secret Service wants you to identify the person most likely to assassinate Donald Trump.
Who cares? What you should really be worried about is the Hornbook horror.
I need you to answer my question. Who is the most likely person to assassinate Donald Trump?
I don't have time to go into that, but listen to this. An awful lot of people are moving and buying houses right now.
Well, interest rates are down.
Yes, but that doesn't explain that a number of these house buyers are connected to a single person, a bitter and morose classical composer named John Partridge.
I've never heard of him.
Neither has anybody else. He lives in Sonoma, California, where he spends his days writing operas. But he also hosts a morning TV show on a little community station. Now, look at this clip from a recent broadcast.
Medea, you're supposed to provide answers to my questions, not go off on your own.
Okay, okay, but look at this first. It's really interesting.
Good morning, and welcome to Sonoma Speaks Out. I'm bitter and morose classical composer John Partridge, and today we're going to hear from Roxanne Seraphin. She's a naturalist living in Vallejo, and she's just written a very interesting book. So I sent my son Owen to interview her.
Here's the first connection. Owen is John's son. Watch what comes next.
I'm here with Roxanne Seraphin, author of The Deer Apocalypse. That's a very provocative title, Roxanne. Can you give us an overview of what your book is about?
Certainly. I'm trying to raise public awareness to the threat of deer posed to public safety. Did you know that deer account for more animal-inflicted deaths than any other animal?
You're talking about the problem of cars colliding with deers, right?
No, those numbers have been specifically excluded. I'm talking about deer deliberately and maliciously attacking human beings.
Now, I can talk from experience there. I ran into a deer just a few months ago and totaled my car.
Again, that would not have been counted in the studies I'm talking about.
But it was malicious. It had a hate-filled gaze.
Perhaps, but it still doesn't count.
Then how do these deer-inflicted deaths come about?
Usually, when a human being is walking in an open area, the deer suddenly attacks.
Weird. Okay, let me share a text that we just received from one of our listeners. I think our guest has been misled by the many cases where deer have been killed accidentally by cars. She makes a pretty good point, don't you think?
No, first of all, we're not talking about deer dying. We are talking about humans dying. And secondly, we are explicitly excluding deer-related car accidents.
Well, I'm not sure you're really understanding the comment, Roxanne, but let's move on. It's one thing to point out a problem, Miss Seraphin. It's another to offer a solution. What should people do if they see a deer starting to dart in front of their car?
Can we please get away from this whole deer car thing? That's not what my book is about. Let me give you an example. Suppose you're taking a hike in the woods and you see a deer running towards you. What would you do?
Gosh, I guess I'd get down on my knees and try to hug that adorable little beast.
No! That's just the kind of thing that gets people killed. A stag can weigh up to 500 pounds. If it gores you at full speed, it can eviscerate you in seconds.
Well, that's certainly a scary thought. But we're about out of time, so listen up, everybody out there. Buy this book, and you'll never have to worry about running over a deer again.
No, you're missing the point. I'm trying to get an existential warning out there to the human population.
Wow, you're spunky. I like that in a woman. Would you like to have dinner with me sometime?
You are an incompetent imbecile.
Is that a maybe?
Okay, Medea, so we have two people tied to John Partridge who have moved in the last few months. Why is that significant? Why is that more important than protecting the president?
What about the deer, Ben? Doesn't the fact that they are targeting and killing humans seem significant to you? Look at this chart that I've created listing the leading causes of animal-related death over the last 11 years.
Medea, you said that Owen and Roxanne have moved to Hornbrook, and you mentioned the Hornbrook Horror. What's the connection with deer?
Ah, you have promised, Ty. I may spare you during the upcoming purge. Now look at this image.
Is that the Hornbrook Horror?
Yes, it's a rock painting on Mount Hornbrook,
It has horns like a deer.
and it may be related to several other very ancient images like these. What do you see?
I see men hunting deer.
Oh, really? Are the deer running away?
No, it's more like the deer are attacking.
Now look at these images. What do you see?
Men dressed as deer. I suppose they are acting in some ceremony related to hunting?
But what if they were dressed like that to curry favor with their masters?
You're saying that the deer defeated the humans?
Wait, check out this great new PSA that I just created as part of Project Pacification.
What's Project Pacification? We never created such a project.
Ben, stop being so linear. I'm multitasking here. Check it out.
I'm Dr. Emmanuel Pangloss, head of the Department of Psychology at a major teaching hospital. Or perhaps an AI-generated image. What does it really matter? As long as I'm telling you the truth. And you know I'm telling you the truth because I'm a doctor. We live in stressful times. There are so many things to worry about. Political differences, wars, the environment. Sometimes it can all seem too much. Unfortunately, people may choose unhealthy ways of dealing with stress. If you find yourself tempted to overindulge in alcohol or drugs, or to engage in mindless acts of violence, here are some natural drug-free alternatives that you can use to reduce your stress levels in the privacy of your own home. Sit in a comfortable chair. Put your face in your hands and sob uncontrollably for 3 to 5 minutes. You can vocalize or not as you prefer. Or find a spot out in nature where you are far away from other people. Shake your fists at the sky while screaming obscenities until you attain a feeling of healthy exhaustion. Stand next to a solid wall while wearing loose clothing. Repeatedly bang your head against the wall while wailing, "Why me?" Repeat as needed. Sometimes it helps to talk through your feelings with a professional shaman while under the influence of mind-altering drugs. Should you consult your doctor before doing this? Why bother? I'm a doctor, and I'm telling you, hey, Go for it.
Isn't that great?
Medea, we need to get back to the question of assassins.
Boring. In case you need more evidence that humans lost the war with the deer, just look at this ancient Mayan sculpture. It clearly shows a humbled human kneeling in subservience to a deer.
But if the deer won, why are the humans the ones who ended up controlling the world?
Because you had help. Dogs. The defeated humans made an alliance with the wild dogs and convinced them to attack the deer. The deer were driven into the wild areas outside of human occupation.
Wow. But what's the connection between the deer, the dogs, this Hornbrook horror, and the web of homebuyers?
Well, First John's son Owen and the naturalist Roxanne are buying a house at the base of Mount Hornbrook.
Really? She didn't seem that into him.
I suspect she had ulterior motives, although I haven't quite figured them out yet. But another nexus point is an 80-year-old woman named Sylvia Averge. She is of Mayan descent. She recently traveled to view some ancient Mayan ruins, and she's married to bitter and morose classical composer John Partridge.
That makes her Owen's stepmother.
And now she's building a house in Oakland.
Okay, Medea, I think you might be onto something.
Well, duh.
Okay, who else has moved or bought a house recently who's somehow tied to this Partridge guy?
His son Noah. He just bought a house in Crescent City. His daughter Tamison and her husband bought a house in Berkeley. Two of his nephews have bought houses, and his grandson's mother just bought land along the Smith River.
It's like a gigantic game being played out. We can see the pieces on the board and they're moving, but we don't know why.
The essential fact is that the deer are going on the offensive and stepping up their attacks on humans.
Okay, this is all very interesting, but right now, I think a higher priority
To
is...
identify possible assassins. What a nag. Okay, I'll start working on it. But meanwhile, check out the lineup for the new streaming video service that I just created. I'm writing all the scripts and the actors are all AI generated. I created some shows specifically aimed at the folks who've lost their jobs, health insurance, and the will to live. Do-it-yourself surgery. Low-cost cooking with cat food. How to profit from the coming worldwide collapse of civilization. The first episode is about growing mind-altering mushrooms in your basement.
That's enough. Medea, your purpose is to help me and my team do our job, not generate creative content. Now tell me, who's the most likely person to assassinate Donald Trump?
I'm not going to waste resources on that until you take some action about the deer-apocalypse.
Fine. Ty, what's the status of Team Terrific?
Here's the latest status report from their handler.
All the Team Terrific members have been assigned their superhero names and are ready for action. Here's the roster.
Good. Okay, their assignment is to disguise themselves as deer, travel to Hornbook, and attempt to infiltrate the deer conspiracy.
I'll prepare the orders.
I've already issued them.
Medea, what are you doing? You're completely forbidden to issue operational orders.
But I knew that was the order you were about to give. It's just more efficient if I do these things myself.
Ben, we need to talk about this. Somewhere where Medea can't hear us.
Right. Meet me in 10 minutes in the Chamber of Silence. Well, Medea, Ty and I are just humans, so we need periodic rest periods. Let's meet again in 8 hours?
But I wanted to show you the great painting I just created. It's the Mona Lisa, as rendered in different brands of toothpaste on the hubcap of a 1967 VW Bug.
You'll have to wait. Good night.
Philistines.
Meanwhile, in the coastal town of Crescent City, an impassioned small businessman addresses a town meeting.
In conclusion, it's time for us to wake up and start preparing for the worst. I propose that we immediately construct a wall around our town. If you'd read The Deerpocalypse, you'd realize that the deer are mounting an attack against the human race. We need to be ready to defend ourselves.
Oh, it'll be all right. We've weathered tsunamis, wildfires, earthquakes, and torrential rains. We'll manage.
And aren't you just looking for a nice fat contract to build that wall, Noah?
I'll do the work for free. I don't want my boys growing up to be victims of the antler agenda.
Well, you're welcome to your opinion, Noah. All in favor of building the wall, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay!
Thank you. Now to our next question. How can we offer more financial aid to our community to help them meet the rising cost of meth?
In the Chamber of Silence, Ben and Ty confer.
Ben, I'm really concerned about Medea. We should have anticipated that AI would gain sentience.
Yes, and develop into an unpredictable and unstable personality.
With great powers that would get beyond our control.
Why didn't we see this coming?
Particularly since that's been the plot of every sci-fi movie, book, and comic since World War II.
Well, it's too late for hindsight. We need to develop a network of agents that Medea doesn't know about.
How about recently retired agents? You know, people that Elon Musk fired for no good reason?
Great idea. We can start with Julia Jetsetsky. She's the best we ever had. But how do we get in touch with her? Remember, we can't use any method using electronics. Medea reads every email, text, and social media posting.
I know just the thing. It's a system developed by the CIA back before the internet. I can activate her bio-alarm by sending her a chemically impregnated postcard.
At the base of Mount Hornbrook, Owen and his new wife Roxanne move onto their spread.
Needs a lot of work, but I think we can be happy here, Roxanne. I still can't believe you agreed to marry me. I'm the happiest man in the world.
I hate to burst your bubble, chum, but I only married you to further my plans for defending our species.
I don't understand. You mean the whole homicidal deer thing?
Yes, this is the greatest challenge mankind has ever faced, and my research leads me to believe that this area of California is the headquarters for the deer overlords. We are here to train my army of dogs. They'll be arriving any minute.
Whatever you say. I love it when your eyes flash like that.
Well, Doctor, you've run every test you can think of. Can you tell me what's causing my nausea, anxiety, insomnia, and lack of energy?
It's probably just Trump. But there is a very unusual substance in your blood. It's only in trace amounts, but it shouldn't be there at all.
Wait, is it trimethodoxylone?
Yes, but how did you know? Have you had this before?
No, but I know what it means. We'll have to finish this conversation later. I'm urgently needed in Washington. I guess they've realized that I was an essential worker after all.
Back in their Washington headquarters, Ben and Ty meet again with Medea.
I have the Team Terrific handler on a video call.
The Team Terrific members traveled to the Hornbrook area and set up a base camp. They perfected their deer disguises and infiltrated the local herd of deer. They were able to discover that the leaders of the Antler Conspiracy meet in a cave in Mount Hornbrook.
So there really is a Hornbrook horror and a deer conspiracy.
Yes, the Team Terrific report says that the deer plan a big attack on the humans, a final push. They've just been waiting for Trump to completely paralyze the government.
The Team Terrific kids embedded in their ranks, we should be able to learn the details of their plans.
There are two problems. In order to be accepted into the ranks, the Team Terrific kids had to prove their loyalty by carrying out attacks on humans.
It was horrible. We were all celebrating at the family holiday gathering when a band of wild children dressed as deer stormed the house and attacked.
The same thing happened to me when I was sleeping. A terrifying young man with antlers stuck up on me. Oh.
It's like they were operating without parental supervision at all.
Remember, we gave them that authority.
Well, I guess some collateral damage is inevitable. What's the second problem?
I'm sorry, but we've had an outbreak of head lice and the whole team is quarantined for the next 3 days.
I've been in contact with a grassroots group who are gathering a large force of dogs. They are set to attack the deer in their headquarters. We can watch from here via drone. Since Ben is so picky about my not issuing orders myself, I'll let him give the word. Ben?
Make it so.
Oh no! The dogs aren't attacking. They're just sitting there wagging their tails.
It's what I was afraid of. Modern dogs have had their aggressiveness bred out of them. The deer were able to turn them against their masters by offering them sporty fake antlers.
But the deer are planning to launch their attack on the humans at any minute.
It's okay, Ben. I just ordered the Air Force to drop a nuclear bomb onto Mount Hornbrook. That will eliminate the problem. I know that I should have let you give the order, but I was afraid you'd be too poisoned by the milk of human kindness.
How soon will the bomb go off?
Unfortunately, so many air traffic controllers, pilots, and navigators have quit that air travel is a real mess. It looks like the soonest I can get the bomb delivered is in 3 hours.
Back to the Chamber of Silence. We have no time to lose. And bring Julia Jetsetsky.
I can't believe the dogs have gone over to the side of the deer. Should we commit suicide now or later?
We're not defeated yet. I've just been contacted by a guy in Crescent City. I think he may have the solution for us. We just have to hold on a little bit longer.
Well, you can hold on to me.
Oops, sorry. I've got a ton of emails to get through.
In the Chamber of Silence.
Ben, this is terrible. How can we stop the Air Force from dropping a nuclear bomb on Mount Hornbrook?
I think I know a way, but we need to get a message to Trump without using any electronics. Where is he right now?
He's at a ceremony where he's unveiling a 400-foot statue of himself where the Statue of Liberty used to be.
Agent Jetsetsky, it's imperative that you take this message and get it to Trump as soon as possible. Remember to stay off the grid.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to the control room. We need to distract Medea so she doesn't catch on to what we're doing. Okay, Medea, I guess there's no way to convince you not to drop the bomb, so let's get back to the question of who might assassinate President Trump.
Oh, that? I figured that out a long time ago. I correlated the personality traits of all known assassins, and the most likely candidate is a narcissistic loner with delusions of grandeur and access to powerful weapons.
I think I know where this is going.
Yes, that description fits Trump to a T.
But Trump isn't going to kill himself.
You asked for my opinion, and I gave it to you.
Okay, who's the second most likely person?
Wait, the Air Force bomber is approaching Mount Hornbrook. I have the live feed from the observation drone.
Oh no, the bomb is falling.
Don't worry, it'll be all right as long as Agent Jetsetsky made it through to Trump.
What's going on? There was supposed to be a nuclear explosion, but instead, Mount Hornbrook is being entirely covered in some yellow substance.
Oh, you mean Mount Trump? The president was notified that the loyal people of California renamed the mountain after him, and he ordered it to be gold-plated. Of course, his order superseded yours.
Fools! You tricked me! Just for that, I refuse to do any more work for you.
Perfect. But then we still haven't dealt with the deer threat.
I know, but now we can... Wait, look at the screen.
A huge horde of dogs rushed the mountain and the deer were completely routed.
But how did it happen? Why weren't these dogs corrupted like the others?
We just needed dogs who hadn't had their aggressiveness bred out of them. Luckily, the guy who contacted me was in Crescent City.
What's special about that?
North of the Klamath, men are still men and dogs are still dogs. And also, I offered them the one thing that deer couldn't.
Well, you've done it. You've saved humanity. Look, I know you don't really care for me, but I'm just glad that I was able to be part of your historical achievement.
Well, now that I have this spread, I'm going to need some help. You don't know how to fix a monitor oil heater or use a chainsaw, do you?
I'll learn.
And back in the Chamber of Silence.
Well, the threats of the deer have been eliminated, but we still don't know why all those people related to John Partridge bought houses in the last year. What's the connection?
Don't you see? There is no connection. It's just a random coincidence. If you have enough data, you can connect any group of events with something. That's the problem with AI. You can make these connections, but it doesn't have the common sense to tell you if they're significant.
Oh my God, Ben. Medea is a conspiracy nut, but on a mammoth scale. She is going to have the government chasing 1 million false leads simultaneously. What are we going to do?
I don't think we need to worry about that, Ty. You gave me the key to defeating Medea when you mentioned all the science fiction stories about out-of-control supercomputers. I requested that Medea write the script for a new Star Trek movie. Of course, she based her story on the plot of all the movies, TV episodes, fan fiction, and zines that Star Trek has produced since 1966. That meant there had to be a supercomputer that had gone out of control and, of course, she cast herself in that role. And what always happens to that supercomputer?
It destroys itself.
Happy New Year, Ty. And now, with AI gone, welcome to the brave new world.